Welcome back to another episode of the Youngblood Experience. Today I have with me my brother, Aaron Youngblood. What's going on, big dog?
Man, not much, man. First, I want to say go Dogs. We're in the great city of Athens, so go Dogs.
I mean, you can say great city if you want, but I've lived here, you know what I mean?
Like, I'm just saying, great city.
It's not the greatest city, but...
I mean, going to have another national championship this year, so
we'll see.
Y'all stay tuned.
We'll see. That's something we'll definitely get into. Tell the people a little bit about yourself, what you do, where you came from, what you do now.
Well, I mean, again, like you said, I'm Aaron Youngblood. Jacob's brother. What I did before, I worked for the Columbia County Sheriff's Office for about 5 years, and now I'm over at the school board as a resource officer at Lakeside Middle. And I have a daughter.
That's my baby, boy. That's my baby.
Little Presley, you know what I mean?
I can't believe it's already been 5 years you've been with the police department, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, time definitely flew by in there.
Oh,
so,
sure.
Yeah,
sure. Not only that, just seeing my niece grow up, man. I remember when she was just something I could fit in my hands, and now she's a handful. You know what I mean, brother? Like, yeah, that's crazy.
She's definitely a handful. Definitely a handful. And I see where you're coming from with that, too, man. I can't believe she's already 4 years old. It's crazy.
That's my baby, bro. I love that girl.
I'm telling you, she talks and talks and talks, man.
That's my
insane.
Baby girl, man. And I feel that way about all my nieces. Whenever I first started, life, right, I was like, I don't want no kids. And then now it's like, I only want a daughter. Because of Presley, because of Leilani, because of Bexley, because of Paisley. It's just that type of feeling is different, bro.
Oh, man, I agree. It's the only way I can put it is the best feeling in the world.
Yeah. So tell me this: what was Aaron before, and what was Aaron after he had a baby or had a child? What was that?
Aaron before Presley was very immature.
Yeah.
Aaron with Presley now, I have my moments where I'm immature, but I feel like Presley has helped me grown up a lot in the last 4 years.
And expand on that. What do you think helped you grow with having Presley? What do you think was the main difference between Aaron before Presley and Aaron after Presley?
Man, I think it's mostly I needed to get my stuff together.
Yeah,
if that makes sense, I really, still now to this day I don't have everything together, but just the way I act in front of her, the way I talk in front of her, what I do in front of her, because she's a sponge right now.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
Everything I do, she sees. So that's the main thing. So yeah, a lot of growing up in the last 4 years.
That's my baby girl, man. I love that girl. Being able to see her is one, not only with her, but with my other nieces, nephews. It's not. I don't have kids, obviously, but being able to experience them growing up and be able to experience them see life differently and have that innocence is something that's amazing to me. Because when you're growing up, you don't see that.
No,
you don't see. Whenever you're in your innocence, you don't understand this innocence. So for me, being able to see Presley, just the other day, for example, we were playing Lego Fortnite or whatever together.
There you go. That's her thing.
And she was just like, "No, you have to fly. You have to fly, man. You can't. What are you doing? Why are you walking when you can fly?"
I will add, she is bossy, very bossy.
She is very
bossy. So.
And she gets that. She gets that's truthful, bro. She gets that from She gets that from you, for sure. She gets that from you. And I can't thank you enough for giving me a niece that I can love genuinely. And that goes for all my brothers and sisters that I can love and that so I can see grow up in a different way than I did. It's a dope feeling.
Oh, I'm sure, but also too in return, man, I thank you a lot for being such a great uncle to her too as well. She loves you.
Dude, it's a phenomenal feeling. It's very it's a gift and a curse because you realize what the innocence is. you realize, that at one time that was you growing up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean, and just being able to see her, just for example, when we were at Mexican, she didn't give a damn, bro. She was eating that.
Oh, yeah.
She was eating the queso. She didn't give a damn.
That's her favorite.
Yeah,
that's her favorite.
Yeah,
She'll do that little dance to
exactly.
it and all that, So that's her favorite for real.
So how's that experience been for you being a father?
Man, I can't put it into words. Like I said, it's the greatest feeling in the world. It really is. It's just, man, I can't put it into words. It's the greatest feeling in the world, man. Watching her grow, from when she was a baby, and like I said, now she's
still my baby.
Yeah, she's always gonna be my baby.
Still my baby.
She's always gonna be my baby. But she talks your ear off now. So
we call her Squeaky.
Squeaky. She got that squeaky voice, man. Man, I can't put it into words. I really can't. Like it's an amazing experience, to sit there and just get to watch her grow every day, So
yeah.
It's awesome. It really is.
What was that feeling like whenever you first got to see her and you got to hold her? What was that experience like? Because I remember our brother Bud told you, listen, this girl's going to change your life.
Oh, she has.
Yeah.
It was, man, I was on cloud nine.
Yeah.
And when I first held her, was actually the first time she opened her eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, me, I started cheering up and all, but I mean,
of course.
Yeah, I was on cloud nine, man.
Yeah.
Cloud nine, I'm telling you, And I remember when she came out, they were cleaning her up and all, and I got to go over there and see her as well, man. It's just goosebumps, honestly.
Yeah.
It's like, dang, that's mine, So,
being a father, obviously, is something I haven't experienced yet, right?
Mm-hmm.
So whenever that baby comes out, what type of responsibilities do you feel like came out of having Presley? Do you realize you're not just living for yourself anymore?
I mean, it's it's that responsibility. You got another life that you gotta take care of, man.
You got a mini you.
Yeah, you gotta sit there and you gotta grow. You gotta help her grow up. You gotta mold her as well. So I mean, that's responsibility in itself, right there. So
How have you changed since having Presley? What do you think? What do you think your biggest changes has been?
I mean, again, it's going back to the maturity. Honestly, the maturity has definitely changed. Has definitely gotten a lot better after she came along. Just because it's like, all right, well, something I did before her, I can't do now.
Yeah.
And I used to like to go out and have a good time, and now it's like, now I want to stay home with her. You know, when I have her. So definitely the maturity level has changed. That's for sure. That's about it, honestly, man.
Has your anxiety level changed at all?
I mean, yeah, actually, yeah, that too. I remember one time we went to Panama City, the little pier right there, Pier Park. Well, it has about a gap about that big right there between the, I don't know, you call it gate, fence, whatever you want to call it, while you're walking down. And
for this is in Panama City Beach, when you go on the Pier Park, obviously, yeah.
And I remember we were walking all the way down, and I was just like, kind of like walking beside that the whole time, just like making sure she stays away from me, because I'm like, she's gonna fall through.
It's the little things. Yeah,
it's the little things. Like, I don't want her to get hurt.
Yeah,
So yeah, that right there. I mean, almost everything. Or even when she's upset or whatnot. That's
you don't want to be upset.
No, that's the big.
How do you
thing,
deal with that whenever she is upset? Let's say she wants to do something, and you're like, hey, like, we can't do that. Like, that's not something we can do. What is your process on that?
I think you know the answer to that, right?
I know she wins most of the time.
She wins 90% of the time.
But as a parent, obviously, you can't give her everything she wants.
No, you can't.
So how is that process for you?
You just gotta let her sit there and pout, do her thing, and she'll forget about it in about 30 minutes. 30 minutes to an hour, she'll forget about it, and she's back to Presley. She won't be pouting in the corner anymore. And she does get that way. Like, she'll sit there and pout, and I'll call her name or whatever, and she won't even look at me, you know. So, I mean, it happens. It comes with it. Like you said, you can't give in to everything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it definitely happens with the whole I'm mad at daddy type deal or whatnot. So.
How does it feel being a dad? Like, what has changed in your life since becoming a dad?
I mean, also
versus someone like me who's not a dad, right?
I mean, it's going back
to a child.
Going back to what you said, it's I can't care about me no more.
Yeah.
Presley's top of the list, and
yeah.
She definitely comes before me. So anything, what I mean? So it's her and then me. So definitely it's a type of deal where you can't put yourself first anymore. You're last now.
Yeah.
To her. So that's definitely one of the things that it's hard to get into that too. To know that that it's not just you anymore. It's
just you in this world.
No, it's you and
mini me.
Another little one, mini me, whatever you want to call it. So I can't put it into words, man. It's cloud nine.
Yeah,
cloud nine.
Sure. And someone who's a co-parent, how difficult is that to be able to not only, I'm not saying like train your child, but also be a part of that child's life? How difficult is that?
I mean, it has its moments. I will say when me and my ex-wife first started out, it was very difficult. On my part, and I guess her part too. It just wasn't one deal, but at the end of the day, you got to realize that kid, your daughter, your son comes first.
Yeah, for sure. So it's top of the list, for sure.
Yes, top of the list. The way you act in front of her or him is going to mold them later down in life.
Yeah.
When they get with somebody. Even though mommy and daddy aren't together right now, mommy and daddy still have respect for each other.
Yeah.
And mommy and daddy get along when they're around me. So that's one of the things I had to learn. Most definitely had to learn because it's hard, man. It is.
For sure.
I think the hardest part, honestly, is it's the days you don't have that child.
Yeah.
I still struggle when I drop Presley off, I'll go home and I ain't gonna lie to you, I want to cry.
Yeah.
Because it sucks because she ain't running around anymore.
Yeah. Not being able to have her in her house, not hearing her playing with her toys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And honestly, not having her coming into the room at like 10 o'clock at night is like, hey, Daddy, I'm scared. Can I sleep with you?
Yeah. Which she probably does most nights.
She does 90% of the time.
Yeah.
95% of the time, actually. So, no, man, that's about it with co-parent, man. That's the biggest, like I said, the biggest part that stinks is the whole drop-off.
Yeah. And what do you think you could have done better through that situation?
You talking about the co-parent?
Yeah. What do you think you could have done better? And just getting through the entire synopsis,
yeah.
I know this is deep, but
it is.
Obviously,
some people might need to hear it.
There's a lot of people out there who are co-parenting, who may need to hear, like, what exactly could have you done better? You know what I mean?
Not be so selfish.
Yeah,
that's the main thing. I mean, I was very selfish at the beginning. That I mean, the selfish has to go away.
And when you say selfish, what do you mean by that? Describe the behavior that comes with that.
Wanting everything your way.
Yeah.
Wanting every single thing your way, and not trying to see how to word this. Not coming in the middle with the other co-parent.
Yeah.
Just being like, hey, it's my way or no way. Yeah. That's the I'm gonna be honest, that's the thing that I struggle with. I wanted everything my way.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted Presley when I wanted her, and you know, we did things like family events. I wanted Presley there. If she wasn't there, it was always an argument.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know, I started some of those, and you know, I wish I didn't. I wish it was different, but you know, you learn from your mistakes. You know,
For sure. And coming from somebody who doesn't have a child, who doesn't, who isn't in the position to co-parent, obviously I'm trying to learn as much as possible. So I'm not in that position whenever it comes time. So that's the main reason for asking these questions. Is just not only for me, but people that are listening, like what they can do to get better. And this is not, an issue of trying to break you down or nothing like that. But there is a 50% of marriages end in divorce. That's how it works.
which is sad. Which is very sad.
Very sad. So that's the main reason for my questioning, because we have a lot of people out there. We have over 2,000 people who listen to this every week. So my main question, I guess, would be, what could you have done better to keep that together, I guess, is the best question.
Just know, like I said, not being selfish. You know, you're not going to get everything you want in this deal, because you know, you got a second party in this, and y'all got to come to terms, and y'all got to come in the middle and agree on something. If not, it's just going to be a big old circle.
Yeah.
And you're just going to keep on going around and around. And I have learned in the past year that your co-parent relationship is very important.
For sure.
You know, so yeah, that's the main thing. Is you can't be selfish.
Yeah.
You know.
And does that confuse Presley at all? Does she ask questions like that at her age? She's 4 years old, right?
Yeah.
Does she ask questions like that at all, where she's like, "Hey, why are we not in the same house? Why are we not?"
I mean, she hasn't asked me anything yet.
Yeah.
Now her mom, I'm not sure if that question has been brought up to her mom or not. If it has, it hasn't been brought to my attention.
Yeah.
So no, that question hasn't been asked yet. I think Presley was when all this happened. Presley was young enough.
Yeah.
That it's kind of like, this is kind of a normal thing right now. You know what I mean? So I mean, I'm sure that question will come up later down the road. I'm actually glad you asked that, because I got to prepare myself for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What do you think you would say to Presley whenever she gets down that road? Because obviously she asks questions every time Uncle Jay's over.
Yeah.
People are like, "Hey, why are you doing this? Why are you on your phone right now? Why are you doing this? Why are we ordering this instead of this?" Like, have you prepared yourself for that conversation?
Honestly, no.
Yeah.
No, I have not. That's something I probably will have to prepare myself for. I don't have an answer right now. That's something I want to sit down and think about. What answer I would give her.
Yeah.
When it comes that time.
And she definitely deserves that answer, because kids, if they're confused growing up, get more and more confused. So I feel like you as a father, and this is just coming from my opinion, so whether that weighs on you or not doesn't matter, right? But I feel like as a daughter, right, she deserves that answer. Why is her mom and dad not together? Why are we not living in the same, house? So what do you think your answer would be for that question?
I think, the best answer I could give right now is, at the time, mommy and daddy can get along.
Yeah.
We get along better when we're apart than when we're together.
Yeah.
And it's better for you not to grow up in that environment, having to see that.
Yeah.
I'd rather you grow up in an environment where you see us getting along when we do have to come together.
Yeah.
Instead of just almost like an everything thing, like an argument or something like that in front of you.
Yeah.
It's probably the answer I would give right now. I'll probably ask some questions to other people I know just to see what the best answer is, or if they got that answer from their child, just to make sure, because I definitely want to give her the best answer I can. And I agree with you completely that she deserves that answer she has. So
yeah. Because I'm sure as she gets older, she'll get confused on why mommy and daddy aren't living together.
Yeah.
Which is difficult. It's not easy for you to explain that to your daughter. But at the same time, you did what was best for you and her.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's a hard decision to make, but at the end of the day, it's the best decision for her.
It is.
You know what I mean? So things happen.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Things happen. Listen, I'm not here to hound you. I'm just simply asking because there's a lot of people out there who are co-parenting. You know what I mean?
agree completely.
Who need answers and want to hear different things from different people.
Yeah, I don't take it anyway. I agree 100% with you.
Yeah.
You know,
that's my baby, bro.
Yeah. Hey,
take care of her. That's my baby.
Like I said, you know, that's gonna be my baby forever. But yeah, most definitely, man.
And I hate that she's growing up so fast. It hurts my heart.
How do you think I feel?
It hurts my heart, man. And when I see her, I mean, I look at Snapchat memories, Facebook memories, and we used to watch football together before she could even talk, and now she's forming complete sentences. It just breaks my heart, but at the same time, it makes me happy because she's growing up, and I'm able to have these conversations with her. And she's like, "Uncle Jay, we were playing Fortnite the other. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing, Uncle Jay? Like, why are you not doing this or this?" I'm like, "Girl, you smarter than I am."
I'm telling you, you do something wrong, she's gonna let you know.
Exactly.
Real fast.
Yes,
Real fast.
Absolutely. I love having conversations with her. I love. I remember when she used to first come over. I used to read books to her. Her, Bexley, when I was in high school, and it was an awesome feeling. At the time, I didn't know what it meant because at that age, I was just like, no, it's just what it is. I'm just hanging out with my niece. But looking back on it now, it was very significant because now they're grown.
Oh, yeah.
And I realized I had or not grown, but they're growing up. And I had a very big impact on their life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Even at Bud's house, whenever we were, me, Dawson, and Brooks were, playing baseball together, I could see her. She was watching. She was like, "Is it my turn?" Uncle Jay, is it my turn yet? Well, I was like, "Yes, baby."
I'm going to let you know when she says that, it's her turn. Okay?
It's her turn.
Just know it's her turn.
And it sucks because I'm on a mission to make my life complete. You know what I mean? And chasing my desires, chasing my dreams. And my dreams distance myself from them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm in Athens right now. I'm an hour and a half away. So I have to drive that far to see them.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, I'm moving to Florida, and I'm 6.5 hours from them. And that sucks because I love watching them grow up. Brooks and Dawson, Bexley, who was my baby girl growing up. I mean, I was watching her after, whenever I got out of school and, just hanging out with her, and Presley and Paisley, and every time I see Paisley, she runs out and gives me a hug, and Presley, she comes out and she's like, "Uncle Jay, we better go play Fortnite, or we're about to go play listen, you need to set up these action figures against my action figures," and it sucks, but at the end of the day, I have to chase my dreams, you know what I mean? So it sucks.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
It absolutely sucks. And everybody's like, "Oh, you're just doing..." No, I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this because I know what the end goal is. And being this far away does hurt a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Being not able to see Presley, Paisley, Bexley, Knox, Brooks, Leilani, Lil Brad, Emmett, all of them, Brooks, Dawson, I mean, it sucks. But at the end of the day, I have to chase my dreams, you know what I mean? So it sucks, man. It sucks.
That's why I've been trying to FaceTime you a little bit more, so you can get that. And, I mean, she loves talking to you, She
I know, she brought a little pony out the other day. We were talking, but it sucks. It really sucks for me because I'm not there in person. FaceTime can only do so much.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And it sucks, and I'm really battling with that recently because I know coming up I'm going to have to make a decision whether I'm going to stay in Georgia or if I'm going to move and do what I need to do. And that's the biggest tank for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it sucks, and I don't really know how to.
Well, at the end of the day, you got to do what's best for you.
I know.
You know.
I know.
So, and whatever that is, that's on you. You know what I mean? It's whatever you think's best.
I know,
for you,
but
so
only being able to see my nieces and nephews 6 months out of the year sucks.
Oh yeah.
Fucking sucks.
Oh yeah.
It sucks because I love Presley. You know what I mean? I when I see her, I'm like, girl, what we doing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Are we playing action figures? Am I reading you a book? We watching the TV? Like,
Oh yeah.
it sucks, but I don't know. It's a very big conflict for me. It's something I go through all the time because I get asked that question all the time. Like, what are you doing? Like, what's going through your mind? What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, I love spending time with my nieces, my nephews all the time. I wish I could be there all the time for them, but I can't. So that's the biggest, issue for me right now is I can't be there for them all the time. Like Brooks and Dawson, they're showing Goats and Pigs right now. And obviously with work and all that.
Which is pretty awesome.
Pretty awesome.
You see the pictures or whatever? That's pretty awesome.
It's amazing.
Some videos and all. So that's awesome.
I can't be there because of work or because of different things. And it sucks. It really does suck because I love watching them grow up. And it's something.
Well, I'll tell you this. The main thing is when you're there, you're there. You know what I mean? And like you don't zone out and do your thing. When you're there, you're there.
Yeah.
Like, when you're around them, I mean, don't worry. I see it. We all see it. You know, when you're there, you definitely. I mean, like Presley, she talks about you. She talks about Snoop a lot too. You know, So I mean, you definitely make an impact when you're there. That's the main thing. And that's what
I love to hear. But at the same time, it's like.
Oh, I understand. I see where you're coming from. Don't worry. You know.
It sucks.
You know, there's some days where I wish, Justin and Beth, live closer, because, man, the twins and Paisley, man, there's something else.
Absolutely. Else. I'm telling you, every time I show up to her house or I see Paisley, she runs out, gives me a hug, and she's like, hey, let me show you this, or let's do this, and it's difficult. For sure.
We can agree all three of the girls, Bexley, Paisley, and Presley, all have kind of the same attitude. That little boss.
And Leilani.
Yeah, Leilani too. Leilani,
I love that girl.
Yeah,
I love that girl.
Leilani's something else, man.
She's grown and it hurts my heart. Cause I remember that baby girl was in my arms, or she was like doing a little dance with her lips out, and I was like, "Girl, you are so beautiful." And then now she's grown, man. Exactly. She's getting older.
Exactly. I like it when I pick on her and she comes right back. I'm like, okay, you do have a little of your dad in you. I see it.
For sure. She looks just like your dad.
Leilani's man. She's amazing.
So
they all are, honestly.
That's what I'm trying to navigate now, mostly in life. I'm not really worried about myself. I'm trying to worry about the best impact I can have as an uncle to my nieces and nephews.
Well, you do a great job. For me, to you, right here, you do a great job. I don't say it much, but you really do, man. You really do.
I appreciate it, and that's what I've been struggling with this whole, just trying to find what I love and trying to find what I do that love. It's just,
it's hard, man. It's going to be hard.
Yeah,
it's a big decision to make. So I mean, it's definitely a decision that takes time, and like I said, at the end of the day, is what's best for Jacob.
Yes.
What's best for Jacob.
I understand that, but I'm beyond popular belief, right? I may be egotistical. I may be a little narcissistic here and there, right? I love to look at myself in the mirror. That's okay. But when it comes to my nieces and nephews, when it comes to my mama, when it comes to my dad, I love seeing them. When it comes to my brothers, I love seeing them. When it comes to my sisters, I look at them like a fucking tulip that's blooming. I want to make sure that fucking flower is always there and never dying.
I agree with you.
When I look at Ansley, when I could look at Lily, those are my girls, man. I would do anything for them.
Oh yeah.
And that's for anybody. Like, to speak for instance, whenever Brad got arrested for what he did.
Oh yeah.
The next day, I drove down to Augusta and said, "Hey, what can I do to help?"
Yeah.
I would do that for anybody in our family because that's what family is.
Yes.
Ride or die is not So, when I was 7 years old, I used to go to Brad's paint sites, right? And he would tell me, like, listen, you're my road dog. Ride or die means you're there for that person until their life is done.
Oh, yeah. Most
So loyalty for me is very big.
Oh, yeah.
And that's for anybody. That's for you. That's for anybody in my family. Obviously, it comes with certain strings, right? Like, you're never going to disrespect my mama. You're never going to disrespect my dad. That's as simple as that.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's my family. And my mom is the head of the household. Whether dad wants to... listen. Whether dad wants to say it or not, mom is the head of the household.
You going to cancel this part out? Or
No.
This
is all on.
Okay, it's still going to be in there. I got you.
And we can talk to dad about it, but mom is the head of the household. That's my angel. That's someone I look up to. That's someone I pray for. That's someone I think about all the time. Because I don't have grandma no more. I don't have grandfather no more.
Oh, yeah.
There's no one I can... Mom is the one I look up to right now. Because at one time I thought our family could be a mafia if we wanted to.
Yeah.
Our family could take over an entire motherfucking state if we wanted to. We could.
Just say the word.
Yeah, exactly. So, my mom is someone. Mom, I'm talking to you right now. Listen, if someone came up and talked trash to you, I'm putting them in the grave. I don't care if anyone's coming with me. That's my mom. Same with dad. But mom is the head of the household. She's the one.
Yep.
Ever since grandma and grandfather died, she's the one. So I realized at a young age, which you can say it's positive or negative, whatever you want to say. But when we lost grandfather and grandma, it was time for someone to be head of the household, right? So that's mom, that's dad, and then whoever comes down. And I'm willing to do whatever I need to do to protect that household. You know what I mean? So even when someone's on Facebook talking shit, and you talking to my mom, you talking to my brother, I'm gonna take care of shit.
Yeah. I believe it. We know. We saw.
Yeah.
We saw, man. You definitely are. Which is not a bad thing at all. You know, you definitely want to take up. You know,
I'm gonna show out. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not the one. Like, my family means everything to me because that's all you have, right? And a lot of friends, a lot of families. There's some family that are friends, and some friends that are family. So it's just Logan's family. I look at them as family, even though we're not blood related. And I can't imagine anybody disrespecting anybody, and me not saying shit about it.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't disagree with you at all on that topic.
I'm gonna show out. I'll crash out immediately for anybody. My mama, my brothers, my nieces. If anybody got something to say, Jay Youngblood's gonna be there.
Oh yeah, big time. Like
and it won't be Jacob. It'll be Jay Money. He'll show up.
It'll be Jay Money.
It's not the time for it. The protocol is different. You know what I mean? Jacob is the one who is very diplomatic. He's very political. But when Jay Money comes out, he's very he's a gangster.
Oh yeah.
He don't play games. You know what I mean? Like when Brad got locked up and all these people were talking shit, I was like, nah, this ain't happening.
Oh yeah. Like I said, we definitely
I know too many people.
Definitely scroll down, rolling it and rolling it, reading it and all.
Yeah. I know too many people. I know too many zip codes. I know I ain't gonna get into it, but I know too many, addresses for you to be talking shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not the one. And I ain't saying I'm the one that's gonna show up to your house, but I'm just saying, like, I know what's going on.
Yeah.
And I have connections where you're not gonna talk bad about my family.
I agree, man. Definitely agree. And honestly, it took me. I mean, I'm glad you got that mindset now, because it took me a while to get that mindset. Because growing up, I always wanted to kind of be like the victim type thing. You know what I mean? And this is where that maturity comes in. So definitely, I didn't have that mindset at your age. Because what, you're 21, 22 now?
Boy, I'm 23, dog.
Oh, I was close. Close.
You weren't close.
There's too many of y'all. Too many of us to keep up. I mean, 23, I didn't have that mindset. I had that mindset that that I was better than anybody in that house. So, man, it's really good you have that mindset, because I didn't get that mindset until later in life, and I wish I would have had it at your age, you know. And I think that's why, honestly, you know, back in the day, I think that's why me and Justin always butted heads, you know, because I didn't have that mindset, and I always walked around like I was better than everybody in the house. So, I mean, that's really good that you have that. And I apologize for that, honestly.
You ain't gotta apologize for shit, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now, like, any of my family, I would be put in jail for. That's simple.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a question of when or if, it would just happen. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not here to play games. And, yeah, if anybody talks down, it's time to talk up. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And going back to what I say, you know, shout out Justin. You know, I love you to death. But man, I wish I would have had that mindset. You know, it would have made my life a lot easier having that mindset.
Shit, I mean, life comes with its lessons.
Oh, you learn from your mistakes. You know, and I've learned from. I mean, and I think me and Brad were talking about, man, I learned from a lot of mistakes from the past 5 years. You know, with everything that I went through. You know, with, you know, the divorce and losing, you know, well, that's more like 9 years down the road, you know, losing, Granny Mert, losing, you know, grandfather was you know, losing Granny Mert hurt really bad, but, you know, losing grandfather really was like a punch in my face. Like, all right, you need to start getting in there. You need to start hanging out with your brothers more, you know, and I go golfing a lot more, right, with Bud, Taylor, and all of them. I can't golf. I suck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I go because it's bonding time with them, you know? So yeah, man, it's just, I don't know. I'm really happy you have that mindset. I really am, you know, and it's really a good thing that you do. So I just want to let you know that.
I mean, the main thing for me is I was taught that at a young age, right?
Yeah.
So whenever I used to hang out with Brad or Daryl, that was something that was very very real in the conversations. And
going back to those days, hanging out with Daryl.
Yeah, Sonic, baby.
Those were some fun days, huh?
Yeah.
We went over to Daryl's and he let us stay up until about 3 or 4 in the morning playing video games.
Yeah, it was. I knew I would die for my family by the time I was 8. When I saw Grandma have her stroke, I feel like I took a bite of the forbidden fruit really early in my life. And that's, I mean, I'm not saying that's a great thing, but I think at the point in my life where I grew up was probably I was about 15 years old, 14, 15 years old. And I realized that I'm not only living for myself, but I'm living for the people around me.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. That's really it's a young age to figure that out.
And it sucks. It did suck.
Oh, yeah.
It sucked for a long time. And I'm medicated for those reasons now. But, you know, I had to learn those trials and tribulations just to get where I'm at now.
I got you, man. And like I said, man, well, I haven't said it yet, but, you know, if you ever need anything or whatnot, you know, pick up the phone.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
for sure.
So.
And like I said, our family could take over the fucking world if they wanted to.
I mean, we got some gangsters on our side.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
We could take over the fucking world if we wanted to.
I mean, shout out Casey, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's a lot, man. We have 11 siblings. You know what I mean? 12 altogether.
Yeah.
We have to look out for each other. Obviously, others treat us differently than others, and, you know, it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I don't think I'm gonna get into all that today, you know, because we could talk for hours about that, you know. So I don't think I'm gonna get into all of that tonight.
No.
We're gonna leave that be. We're gonna leave that dead horse.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's it's a responsibility to have this many siblings.
Oh,
For
it
sure.
is. Oh, it is.
Especially with this many nieces and nephews. It's something you definitely have to live through, something you have to grow about. Because
How many do we have?
nieces and nephews?
Yeah, can you count them up real fast? Who we got?
Well, so, Lil Brad, Leilani, Emmett, Bexley, Knox, Brooks, Dawson, Paisley, Presley, JoJo. I'm missing someone.
I done forgot who you named, honestly. I mean, we have about, 11 or 12, right? I mean, well, you do. You do.
So I'm trying to think. Emmett, Leilani, Lil Brad, Knox, Bexley.
So let's start with this. So we got...
Dawson,
There you go.
Brooks, Paisley, Presley, JoJo.
I feel like you're forgetting... I don't know. I feel like you're forgetting somebody.
Um,
Hard to keep up, honestly.
Julie Kate, and motherfucking Christopher.
Christopher, yep.
Yes.
So how many of you count? 11? Was it 11
That's
right
a
there?
lot. That's a lot. It's 12.
That's a good bit, huh?
12, yeah.
We
Jesus
just-
Christ.
we ain't talked about, man, old Knox.
Knox, he's
Knox.
shout out to Bud Taylor. I remember watching Bexley. Knox is a whole different situation.
Oh, Knox is on a different level.
Bro is a linebacker at the age of 2 years old, 3 years old.
I say 6 months. I say six.
Bro is built like a linebacker. And I know Taylor and Carson are gonna have babies soon. And then you got to think about Luke and LK, who are getting married in October.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a ton. We're gonna have a ton.
I know, and it holds me back from moving, but it's like at the same time, it's rough.
Yeah.
It's a rough decision.
Yeah, it's super. I didn't realize there was that many, honestly, until you started counting.
It's a good amount, brother.
Yeah. I was
It's a
like,
good
hold
amount.
up. That's Yeah, I didn't realize there was that many.
Yeah, there's a lot of young bloods out there just running around.
Yeah, straight running, straight thugging.
But let's get into this. Georgia, obviously, I live in Athens. They got a good team.
Oh, you love it out here, don't you?
It's okay. You get a lot of grown men barking and growling on all fours all the time. I mean, it is what it is. Frat boys just growling because they're Georgia fans.
Those are some good dogs right there. That's all I gotta say.
Speaking on that, obviously, I think Georgia is the front runner.
Mm-hmm.
But Georgia plays Clemson first week, right? Am I right on this?
Oh, yeah. In Atlanta.
In Atlanta.
August 31st, 12
I don't even
o'clock.
know where my phone is. I don't even know where my phone is. All right, whatever. It's cool.
August 31st, 12 o'clock.
But you also got LSU. You got FSU.
Mm-hmm.
You got Texas.
Mm-hmm.
You got Ohio State
Mm-hmm.
with a strong team.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is going to happen this upcoming year?
Well, I mean, like you said, and I mean, you can take this how you want it. Georgia's definitely, one of the front runners.
For sure.
The one thing that scares me about Georgia this year is the schedule. We are on the road in Texas, on the road Alabama, and everybody's like, well, Alabama's got a new coach. Alabama's going to be Alabama. They still got a lot of talent on that team. And not only that, we spoke about this, on the road, Ole Miss. And I feel like Ole Miss is going to be a really, really good team this year as well. So, I mean, my thing is Georgia has a very, very good team. It's just that schedule is going to be difficult, I think. Clemson, sorry to all my Clemson fans, but that's not going to be a game.
You think so?
No.
Dabo's a good coach.
I mean, he's a good coach, but the talent level, you could be a good coach all day. That talent level is something different.
What do you think is going to happen in that game? Go ahead. No, go ahead, bro.
I really believe it's going to be a slaughterhouse.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be close.
You think Georgia's just going to run through it? Clemson?
So, it's going to be one of those things where, at the end of the first quarter, everybody's going to be like, oh, man, this is a close game. And then it's going to be Georgia running away with it. I don't think Clemson has the talent to keep up with Georgia at all. That's just me. That's me talking, right? Like I said, I'm a Georgia fan, so everybody's probably, well, that's a biased opinion. No, that's what I believe, Now, like I said, the games that scare me, I don't think we come out of Texas with a W.
Think you may lose?
Yeah. And then again, we might see Texas 3 times this year.
SEC championship and then
and then maybe in the playoffs. So I mean, I think we spoke about it. Maybe me and you have. I really believe it's going to be a wild year this year.
I don't know. There's a lot of dark horses. I think Texas has a good chance. I think MSU has a good chance.
Texas has a really good chance.
I think Ohio State has a good chance. Oregon solely because their division is weakest, or conference is weak as hell.
Well, then they got moved into the conference with Ohio State and all of them, didn't they?
I'm trying to look at the top 25 rankings right now, actually.
And then we spoke about this earlier tonight. I really believe LSU is going to have a chip on their shoulder coming into this year. Who's their head coach? Brian Kelly. Didn't fare too well last year, so I really think LSU is going to have a chip on their shoulder this year.
So what I'm seeing and what I'm reading is that Georgia obviously is a front runner.
Oh yeah.
Ohio State obviously has a hell of a coach. They do a hell of a job in recruiting.
Well, Ryan Day can't coach the big games.
I really think FSU has a strong team.
They have a strong team for sure.
I really do.
Sure.
And they're not playing hard teams. Oregon's always up there, and then they end up losing it
and then
halfway through the season.
Speaking of FSU, I mean, they might come in with a chip on their shoulder after what happened in that bowl game last year as well, where they got embarrassed.
Maybe.
And I know everybody, it wasn't the full roster, whatever, blah, 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 but, I mean, getting embarrassed like that can really change the team, mindset and all coming to the new season.
There's been a lot, and I mean a lot of talk between Michigan and Missouri. And I know Missouri's lost a lot, and I know Michigan's lost a lot.
I don't think we have to worry about Michigan. I don't think Michigan is going to be a factor this year.
Because they lost J.J. McCarthy, and they lost
a good bit.
Jim Harbaugh.
They lost the head coach. They lost the starting quarterback, and I think don't quote me on this, 80% of that defense, 85% of that defense is gone as well. I don't think Michigan is going to be the team we've seen the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
I will say that. Missouri surprised me last year.
They're a tough team.
Yeah, I did not think Missouri was going to be as good as they were. Now going in this year, I think the same thing. I don't think they're going to be that good. But like I said, they surprised me last year. Again, LSU, I feel like LSU has a chip on their shoulder. After last season, definitely watch out for Oregon. I think Oregon has a very, very good football team.
Missouri, for some reason, always gives Georgia a very hard time.
Yeah, they do, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
It's kind of like, what team was it back when Mark Richt was coaching? I can't remember the team that always played Georgia so dang hard when Mark Richt.
Ball State? Ball State?
So, I mean, Missouri always gives Georgia a very hard time. And I haven't really looked at most of Georgia's schedule this year. I don't know if we played Missouri this year or not.
I don't think y'all do.
Thank God.
But it doesn't look like they have a tough schedule.
Mizzou?
Yeah.
No.
They play Murray State, Buffalo, Boston College, Vanderbilt,
Ooh, that's a tough one.
A&M, UMass, Auburn, Alabama, at Alabama,
Mm-hmm.
obviously. At home versus Oklahoma, at South Carolina, and then at Mississippi State. At home versus Arkansas, and that's it.
Ooh. They might be only like a 3-loss team.
They may come out of the SEC, brother.
They might.
That's a tough team.
I mean, I agree. Like I said, but I don't want to believe in them just yet, But man, listen to that schedule, man. It can definitely be a 2 or 3 loss team.
Yeah,
for sure.
I don't know. It's gonna be a wild year with Texas and Oklahoma joining. I think it's definitely gonna be wild.
Oh, yeah.
That Texas Georgia game in Texas is definitely gonna be a big game.
Oh yeah, huge game.
Probably big game of the year. I can't think of any other game that would be bigger than that one.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's going to be a huge game, and I mean, like, Texas is a very good football team, man, and going to Texas to play. I mean, as you saw 2 years ago when Bama went down there and struggled.
Yeah.
And Texas wasn't really that good that year.
Well, Quinn Ewers has been there,
Mm-hmm.
and they have Steve Sarkisian, who
Mm-hmm.
is a hell of a coach.
Oh yeah, they showed it.
Offensive mind for sure.
Yeah, they definitely showed it this past season that they're a team to be reckoned with. But the year that Bama went, I mean, they were like maybe what was it, a 4-loss team? I want to say.
Yeah.
So man, they gave Bama fists down there. Yeah, definitely don't look past them. And like I said, man, going back to Georgia, man, that most people said the schedule's not that bad, but I mean, you got to go to Texas, you got to go to Alabama, and you go to Ole Miss. I don't care what nobody says. Ole Miss is going to be a very good football team this year.
I believe in Lane Kiffin. I think he puts a good team together no matter what. Steve Sarkisian in Texas is going to be hard. That's a sold-out stadium.
Most definitely.
With Alabama, my biggest thing with them is losing all the players they did.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Georgia has a problem with them. I think Texas and Ole Miss may give you a shot, but Ole Miss, y'all played them home last year and put up like 40 points on them. You know what I mean? They all, like,
smoked them
for no reason.
Go Dogs. Straight smoked them, man.
For no reason at home. I was at that game, and Carson Beck looked like he was just in the zone.
Yeah. Carson Beck, man, he's probably the most talented quarterback we have come through since Stafford.
Don't say that.
And he might even be better than Stafford,
Don't
honestly.
say that.
I'm just being honest, man. I'm just saying, man, he has the arm strength. I just want to see. There was some games last year when he got rattled. He was a different player. So I definitely want to see if he gets to the point. I mean, which I'm sure we're going to see with the schedule when he gets rattled, what he does. I mean, you saw that SEC championship game.
Yeah.
What other game was it? It was the Missouri game. I want to say he didn't have a good first half. I mean, he came out the second half, had a better second half. I want to say it was Mizzou. No, it was Auburn. Auburn, he did not have a good first half. And he came out the second half and had a better second half.
I wouldn't put him with Stafford. I would put him with Aaron Murray for sure, based on his stats now. But I don't think he's a Stafford type player just yet, and he obviously has a lot to prove this upcoming year. But we'll see, for sure.
I was saying like Stafford with the arm strength. The arm strength.
He can definitely get the ball down the field.
That's where I'm coming from with the Stafford thing.
And Jalen Milroe is definitely one of those players I'm looking at for sure. And I want to see him first game, how he throws the ball, how he's able to get out on the perimeter, and also do the RPO and able to run the ball. But Jalen Milroe and Carson Beck are definitely in the running for Heisman, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. I wouldn't put him up with Stafford yet, but depending on this year, we'll see what happens.
Oh, yeah,
for
most
sure.
definitely.
If he's able to lead them to a championship and get Athens to where it was 2 years ago, or a year ago, 2 years ago.
A year, 2 years, whichever. championship. Which the offense I felt like took a step back last year. I don't think it was as I don't know what the word to call it, but I mean it was a little like the slow starts really got me.
Yeah.
And I mean Carson doesn't bring the same thing that Bennett brings with the legs.
Yeah.
He just show it off kind of towards the end of the year.
He's a giraffe. He
is.
Yeah.
He is. But a dang good quarterback at that.
Yeah, for sure. He has the arm. He has the competence to get the ball down the field, but we're going to see what happens this year.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the offense is really, really, the offense this year is loaded.
Especially against Texas. It's going to be a big trial and tribulations for him.
I can't wait. I can't wait for that game.
I think Jalen Milroe has a lot to prove in Alabama, so we'll see what happens there.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State with Lane Kiffin has a lot to prove. Oregon has a lot to prove.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State has a lot to prove. And with all these divisions changing, we'll definitely see what happens.
Ohio State, I definitely want to see the quarterback play. That's what I want to see. I feel like they're loaded. Most definitely, as always, loaded on offense.
Yeah.
And actually loaded on defense this year. Their
Yeah.
defense is actually looking pretty good this year. Defensive line is probably top 3 in the country, if not top 5.
We'll see.
So
We'll see.
most definitely.
And so one thing I always get my guests to do, whether brother related or not, is give positive advice, positive vibes to the guests who are listening. Do you have anything to give out to the people who are listening today?
Yeah, most definitely. Don't let nobody in this world dictate your character, man. You stay true to you, and you do you.
Yeah.
That's about it.
That's the word, brother. I appreciate you being on. I'm glad we're able to have this experience today. It's going to be a lot of people listening. Like I said, we get about 5,000 to 10,000 people listening per month.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Congrats to you, man.
Yeah,
Congrats to you on that one.
So I appreciate everybody listening to this podcast today. Aaron, I appreciate you having you on, brother.
I appreciate you.
It's just another podcast, baby. Go Tigers.
Go Dogs.
Go Tigers. Let me do my Edo impersonation. Hold up. We're gonna go down there, and we're gonna win. We're gonna go down to Roll Tide, and we're gonna bust their ass, and then we're gonna go down to Athens, and we're gonna bust their ass too, and we're gonna play we're gonna play Ole Miss, and we're gonna bust their ass too. And we're gonna go have a good cheeseburger, and then we're gonna come back. We're gonna come back to Louisiana, and we're gonna eat some crawfish, and we're gonna have a good time with it. All right, and go Tigers.
Spot on.
Spot on, baby. I appreciate everybody listening today. God bless everybody. This has been another episode of the Youngblood Experience. Y'all have a blessed day. I love y'all.